If you are a renter in Washington, D.C., you may have heard about the Tenant Opportunity to Purchase Act, or TOPA. When a landlord wants to sell a multifamily rental building in D.C., TOPA requires that they first give tenants the opportunity to purchase. TOPA gives tenants the power to determine the future of their housing. You can do one of three things with your TOPA rights. Continue renting and collectively assign your right to purchase to a buyer of your choice. In exchange, you can negotiate for rent protections, repairs, and other benefits. Form a co-op and collectively purchase, own, and manage the property. Each tenant owns a share in the co-op. Or convert to condo and collectively acquire the property. Each tenant ultimately purchases their own unit. In other words, tenants can use their right to either purchase the property themselves or decide who purchases it and under what terms. TOPA is a collective right. When we talk about exercising TOPA rights, we are talking about a process wherein tenants make collective decisions around the purchase of their building with the help of lawyers and tenant organizers, within legal timelines provided under the TOPA law. Take, for example, Maria, who lives in a 5+ unit building in Trinidad. Maria recently received an offer of sale in the mail, notifying her that her building is up for sale. Since then, real estate agents and potential purchasers hoping to quickly take advantage of development trends in the neighborhood have been aggressively approaching her about selling her TOPA rights. Maria calls housing counseling services to learn about her tenant rights and learns that she and her neighbors are under no obligation to move and do not need to make an immediate decision about what to do with their TOPA rights. They are entitled to tenant timelines provided under the TOPA law, but in order to exercise their TOPA rights, they must act swiftly. Their first step is responding to the offer of sale. For buildings with 5 or more units, tenants have 45 days to form a tenant association and respond to the offer of sale by submitting a letter of interest to the city and to the landlord. For buildings with 2 to 4 units, tenants have 15 days to respond as a group and 7 additional days to respond as individuals. Even if they do not decide to purchase directly, submitting a letter of interest gives tenants opportunities to negotiate and decide what happens. Submitting a letter of interest. Maria and her neighbors form a tenant association and submit their letter of interest. That day of submission marks the start of step 2. Negotiation. Tenants in buildings with 5 or more units have 120 days. Those in buildings with 2 to 4 units have 90. By the end of this phase, tenants must submit a matching contract and an earnest money deposit, 5% of the building price, to the owner. If they do not meet the deadline, the owner may proceed with their own contract. Finding a developer or development consultant. Maria and her neighbors can assign their rights to a local affordable developer to purchase the property. They can then work with a lawyer to draw up an agreement that guarantees rent protections, repairs, and the use of a reliable management company. Or, Maria and her neighbors can find a local affordable development consultant like Mikasa Inc. to guide them through the purchase and renovation of the property. With their development consultant and their attorney, they can form a limited equity cooperative, LEC, where they will develop the skills to own, develop, and manage their building. Financing. Upon submitting their matching contract and deposit, the tenants enter the financing phase, the final phase where they have 240 days to go to closing. Fast forward 1 year. Maria and her neighbors enjoy affordable, protected rent levels and comfortable homes. Washington, D.C. is one of the fastest changing cities in the United States. TOPA is a vital tool for tenants to protect their housing and keep rents affordable. And remember, even if you do not exercise TOPA, you still have the right to stay through a sale and to keep your existing leases. You do not have to move or sign a new lease during this time. There are many resources available to help you understand and exercise your rights. Independent legal counsel for tenant associations are crucial. Tenant organizers are also available to support tenants as they establish and run their tenant associations and work to get through the administrative aspects of the process. If your building is or will be put up for sale, get help today.